Hey guys, this is No Solution. I'm Scott. Yeah, it's been a little while, but who cares? I wanted to send out a personal apology to someone I know who is extremely worried about me. Gary at Physical Format Rock and Roll. I know he's always concerned when somebody has not made a video in a while, and he really enjoys all the explanations of why. So, Gary, I'm sorry you were sitting at your computer, very worried, constantly hitting refresh on my feed to make sure that I'd put up a new video. So my apologies to you. I hope I did not cause you very much stress. Anyway, so I've been back from Marillion Weekend now for a couple of weeks. And the delay in making a video is because I was really having trouble deciding what I was going to say. And it will become apparent, I guess, as we get into it. So let's just get into it. This is the last Marillion Weekend in Montreal. This is my 6th time going. They did announce that this will not be the last North American Marillion Weekend. They said they're looking at Toronto for 2027. So if so, that'd be great because it's about half the driving distance for me. And if it is in Toronto, I expect to see Brian there. I know he's a huge Marillion fan. I think he's got one album. So, and Tony, Tainted Lord 87 as well. And if not, I look forward to going and getting to meet you guys and hang out for a little bit. But anyway, so the difference this year, usually it's a three-day weekend with 3 shows. It was still considered a 3-day weekend this time, but there were only 2 shows. The band has decided they can't do 3 shows in a row anymore, which is understandable. You know, none of us are getting any younger. So I guess my expectations got kind of high because when I started going to Marillion Weekend, usually like 2 of the 3 shows would be 2.5 to 3 hours. A lot of deep cuts and things you don't normally hear. And this year, Montreal did get a 3-day in 2023 when only one other place did, but this year we're down to 2. So they said Friday was going to be a Q&A with the band, which they always do, usually it's before the Sunday show. Q&A with the band, and then they said it'd be a party night. So Life Signs, the prog rock project of Jeff Young, who is a really prolific kind of session keyboard guy. He's worked with Fish. He's worked with John Wetton a lot. But he has his own project now that's been going for about 10 years. They're playing, and then a band called Lucid Street, who kind of a cover band, but they have their own originals as well. They're also playing. So I guess in my head, I was like, well, they're only playing 2 shows now, so it's going to be like 2 of the old shows, right? Like 2 super long shows with a bunch of, you know, crazy rarities and things like that. So if you haven't guessed by my tone so far, I was a bit disappointed in the weekend this time. Which part of it is my own expectation, right? I build it up, and these weekends have always been awesome. I've never been anything but blown away by them. And they did a 3-day show the previous weekend, which is like the main weekend in Portland in the Netherlands. And I figured, well, we're going to get the best of that, right? And, you know, 2 really long shows. So what we got was an abbreviated album night, where usually album night they play a whole album, and they did in Portland. They played the entire Marbles album. For us, we got Marbles minus Angelina and Drilling Holes, which if they're going to cut 2 songs, those are the 2 I would cut, actually, so it wasn't that big a deal. And then an encore of Sugar, Mice, and King. So an under 2-hour show of a lot of stuff we always hear. You know, the amount of times I've seen them where they've opened with Invisible Man, the opening track from Marbles, and it closed with Neverland, the final track is, I don't even know. I go back and count. I would say at least 10 shows. So it's a lot of stuff that we always hear, you know what I mean? There were in there, they did play Genie, which is one of my favorite songs. It's a bit of a rarity. So that was cool. Ocean Cloud is always fun to hear. But yeah, it was a good show, but I just came away from it kind of like, I don't know. Like I was kind of expecting more. And then the feeling came over me of like, oh no, there's only one more show. Like, one of my favorite feelings in the world was going to these weekends. You go to see the show Friday, it'd be awesome. And then you get out of the show and you're like, oh my God, we still got 2 more shows. Like, the anticipation, like you just saw something great and there are going to be 2 more of them. But, you know, I got out of this show, which I wasn't that stoked on. I mean, it was good, but I felt like the band didn't seem that invested in it, I guess. And that's, you know, that could be my feeling. I don't know. But just not one of my favorite Marillion shows. Maybe my least favorite Marillion show that I've seen, and I've seen them like 25 plus times. So anyway, then Sunday came, and the main portion of the show before the encores, it was a lot of really obvious kind of songs that you would hear at any other show. You know, they played Easter, and they played Uninvited Guest and Afraid of Sunlight, and just a lot of songs that you would expect to hear at kind of any run-of-the-mill Marillion show. They did throw in a few things, Holloway Girl. They did do the Kaylee Lavender Heart of Lothian kind of medley, which they don't always do, and they included the portion of Bittersweet called Blue Angel, which was probably my favorite section of music from the entire Fish era of the band. So that was really cool to hear. But still, just I was like, it's not hitting me. The encores are really good though. They did New Kings. They did The End of Care. They did Man of a Thousand Faces. Yeah, no, I'm drawing a blank, but it was a good show. Definitely the better of the 2 shows. But overall, yeah, definitely my least favorite Marillion Weekend I've been to. And there is the mindset of sunk cost. Like, I've spent so much money and, you know, time off work and miles on my car to come here. There's an inclination in my mind to be like, oh, it's just awesome. It's awesome. Like, whatever was wrong, it was your problem. But I knew that wasn't the case, and it was illustrated by a Facebook post in the Facebook group for the Marillion Montreal Weekend, which leads me to kind of where this video is really going, which is toxic positivity. There was a guy Saturday night after the show who expressed his displeasure of, he just said it was an uninspired set list. He felt like the band wasn't that into it, and he was pretty salty about it. I got to be honest. Like, he kind of took it farther and started going into like the politics of, you know, who's a cool fan that can hang out with the band, and what I don't give a shit about that. But while I was not as salty as he was, I thought he had some good points, and I thought it was his right to express his opinion. You know, he paid the ticket and he saw the show and he was saying what he thought. Holy shit. You would not believe, or you probably would believe, the avalanche that crashed down on this guy of, why do you have to say this and try to ruin everybody's time? You should just be happy you got to see them. You should be grateful for anything that they give you. It's a gift just to get to see Marillion at all. Yeah, it really pissed me off. And I did not, you could call it cowardice, I did not jump in and try to defend this guy because I knew it would just end up with pile-on me. And he probably did not express it as diplomatically as he could. But it really led me to thinking about the tendency now in fan groups for toxic positivity. Obviously, you don't want the stereotypical toxic fan who hates everything. The Star Wars fan who hates everything they put out, but keeps buying tickets, keeps watching it, keeps bitching about it. But there is the flip side, where anything that the object of your fandom does is fantastic. They can't do anything wrong. Anyone who says anything slightly not positive is a hater. It really bothered me. That, obviously a fan of the band could say, hey, I didn't think this was a very good show, and everyone just kind of piled on and called him a piece of shit, and why'd you even come? And so that kind of woke me up to just say what you think, man. You don't have to. You already came. The money's already spent. You don't have to try to convince yourself it was a better show than it was. Like, am I glad I went? Absolutely. And part of that is because if I didn't go, I would just, be mad at myself for missing out. I did skip 2013's weekend, and I still regret it. But it was by far of the weekends I've been to the least impressive weekend. So I don't know if they go to Toronto in 2027. I'm going to go. Maybe this time my expectations will be a bit more tempered. I will know what it is. It's going to be like, an hour and a half one night, maybe closer to 2 hours the other nights. They're not going to get crazy and play a bunch of stuff that people didn't want it, or that isn't always played. And also, I'm coming from a position of someone who's seen them that many times, right? Like, if this is the first time I'd ever seen them, and they didn't play Easter, and they didn't play Afraid of Sunlight, and, they didn't play Don't Hurt Yourself or You're Gone, I would probably be disappointed. But I've seen them do those songs a million times, so I'm kind of looking for something else, right? So I guess that's my report for Marillion Weekend. If this puts something in perspective, what show did I enjoy the most in my Marillion Weekend? It was probably the Marillion cover band. Actually, not probably, it was. This is the third time they've played. I don't know if they're from Montreal. They're definitely from Quebec. It's a band called Something Else, and they do a show called Childhood's Friends. So I got this t-shirt here, which you can see the puzzle pieces are the 4 Fish albums. So they do exclusively Fish material, which, some would say you're going to see a tribute band of the band you're going to see, but, it's the Fish era, which they don't play that much of. Sometimes they don't play anything. So it is cool to hear those songs and played really well. The band's really good. The singer really does a great I don't want to say impersonation, but kind of embodiment of Fish and that kind of era. The back. Apparently, I saw them at this show. I didn't see this shirt, but I guess these are leftover shirts from the 2023 show they did. And also at that show, they released their debut album of originals. They said, this is our 40th year as a band, and this is our debut album. So here it is. It's called Hope. Definitely in that kind of neo-prog, early to mid 80s style. But they're great musicians, and the songs are really good, really catchy. 8 songs. It's about 48-ish to 50 minutes. And a lot of these songs, I guess they have had for years. They were a high school band and wrote some songs and never really recorded anything professionally. Then they broke up, and all went to do different things. They got back together, I think, within the last 10 years and just started, playing again for fun, old friends. And they came up with this Marillion tribute show that they would do. So they've been doing that, and then decided to work on some of the old songs. And I don't know how many are old and how many are new, but if I would say definitely check this out. Something Else. The album is called Hope, and I'm not sure. When they released it, I was looking for it on Spotify, and it was hard to find. I don't know if it's available yet, but I would say definitely check it out. So yeah, that was fun. That was on Saturday afternoon. They played the entire Misplaced Childhood album, and then a lot of samplings from the other 3 albums. They played like 2.5-ish hours. So that was a fun show. I'll just show quick the merch I got here. I'm wearing the kind of Marillion baseball shirt that they sold there. It's got 25 on the sleeve, obviously for 2025. I got the kind of basic Marillion Weekend shirt. Nothing too exciting, but come on, you got to get the shirt, right? What else did I get? Got a little pin here. I don't know what I'm going to do with these metal pins, but I've been just kind of buying them. I just think they're kind of cool. I have a whole bunch now. I'm probably not ever going to put them on a jacket, so I will put them on a corkboard, and then when I'm dead, my son will throw them in the garbage. So. But they make me happy. And there was a little mini poster here, farewell to Montreal. So that kind of sad they won't be back at that venue in Montreal, the Olympia. It's a really cool venue, but if they're gonna go to Toronto, which is about a 5.5-hour drive for me, as opposed to 12, I'll definitely take it. So I guess that's it, guys. That's my report from Marillion Weekend and kind of a little bit of commentary on toxic positivity. I don't know. Do you guys encounter that in things that you're interested in? I find if you can't talk honestly about the things that you like, then we're not. Then everyone's just like a paid shill, and it's just like pointless. I don't know. Kind of annoying, but that's it, guys. Hopefully I will get back. I don't think I've shown anything like metal or extreme metal in quite some time, so I'm planning to get back to that. I actually had video ideas, and then I still hadn't done this one, and I still don't even know if this one makes any sense, but I had to just get it out, and yeah. Let me know what you think. Let me know if I'm full of shit. And that's it, man. Thanks for watching. As always, everybody, I really appreciate it. Gary, again, I'm sorry for worrying you. And until next time, fuck Booker T.